What's up, guys? Welcome back to Skill Rider Zoom Meet number 2 with my guests, Vision 124, Detail Junkies, Armando Flores, Iceman Collections, Dennis Matthews, Alex C. Skill Cars, H-Town Model Shop, Chipati, Wes Salazar, and Sino Evo Builds. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Thank you for joining. Let me, I see that I can't see Chipati, so let me throw that invite back at him. I jumped out real quick. So thank you guys for joining us. This is the number 2. The first one we did was obviously fun, and we were like, let's do it again, and let's also invite some guests for this one here. And I wanted to start things off with a discussion topic, and I wanted to ask you guys, what is your favorite part during your model car build? And let's start things off with David, Detail Junkies.
All right, so what was the question?
Yeah, so I want to know what is your favorite part while you're building your model car? Like, what is the part that you enjoy?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like a 3-parter. Ultimately, you know, it comes down to when it's done.
Part that you enjoy.
And that photography aspect, when you break it out and it's done. That part is awesome, and showing it off and everything. But it also kind of backs up to even the beginning stages, like, you know, just mocking it up, taking it out of the box, mocking up some wheels on it and everything. Love that. And then also, last part is when that paint looks good. When you hit it with that clear, even though you know you still got to buff it, but once that clear sets and it really, you know, it starts to really bring it to life, and you know that this is when you're gonna finish in that shelf, you know, that's pretty much it right there. So yeah, it's like all 3 of those things, I guess. Yeah.
You wanna pick someone to answer the next?
Sure. Luis, I'm gonna pick on you, buddy. You. Alex Cars.
My favorite part about building the car must be when I like put myself to do something. Once I like finish something, like the engine bay or something, like if I'm scratch building something, that's probably my favorite part. Just seeing it finished out of the way. And obviously once I get the clear down, like I feel like I'm saved, like the hard part is done, you know, because usually I'm always afraid of laying down the clear coat for some reason, but it gets done, and then I'm like, it goes clear, and then I just move on. But that's my favorite part, just the clear coat and seeing something come together, like when I'm scratch building it. And then I'm gonna pass it on over to Armando.
Oh, well, you guys know, you know, like crazy with the paint jobs, but it's actually when I get a kit and my mind is just going crazy. It's like, okay, I already started visualizing the wheels, the paint job, the interior, and then I actually see it on my head, like it's already basically done. It's just a matter of time to get it done. But when I'm shooting that candy and those panels, that's kind of when I'm having fun with it. And not too much. I have fun body work, but when I throw the paint is when I feel like I'm doing my strongest on doing the paint jobs. And that's because I always challenge me. And once I finish the product, it's like David is saying, once you shoot the clear and you start seeing the flake dancing, that's when you get all like excited about it, and you put the wheels on it, and that's it. It's over. That's kind of when you get all like inspired, and you can go to sleep. Like, you know, once you do that. I'm gonna pass it to Iceman.
Ooh, for me, it's when I've done the body work, and I have the entire body in primer. A couple of different parts are in primer. And then you do that mock-up with the wheels that you think you're gonna use for the very first time. I love taking those pictures, man. That's kind of what gets me going to just keep moving ahead. Primer is like a halfway step for me. So once I have that and I see the pictures and, you know, that's my favorite part. I'm ready to move on to plan whatever's next. Let's see. Let's hear from Wes.
Man,
Hang
it's
on.
I get kind of like a two-parter myself. You know, obviously with paint, you guys have seen my paint jobs that I do. The but I find it relaxing, you know, and it gets you excited because you know that stage is done. Now it's just the assembly part, you know, getting everything together, putting it to the final stages and stuff. And from there, the detail and adding all the little detail stuff, whether it be to the interior, to the engine, all that stuff, man. It's probably the funnest part for me because the vision in my head is coming together, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Right on.
Yeah, pass it on to Ryan.
All right, for sure. Yeah, for me, like the same thing, like a two-parter. Getting the stance just set. Once you get, you know, you build the suspension the way you need it, you know, and getting it set to where when you set it up, you know, that's what it's gonna look like in the final position. And just being able to set it up and just look at it and know that that's pretty much how it's gonna look. And then also the detail, you know, I like to get down on the detail. So just pretty much taking any part of the car, whether it's the interior or the engine compartment, and just diving into one local section and just pulling out any detail you can out of it. And I'll get lost in there. And a lot of times you'll never see it, or you just, you know, I don't want to take the time to point things out or whatever, but that's where I have fun and just have a good time on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Next, I'm gonna send it off to Freddie.
All right, guys. Yeah, I think my favorite part of the process is the brainstorming. Just the you know where you know you collect all your ideas in the beginning and try to piece it all together as a puzzle. You know, I think that's the very most challenging part, I guess, and that's, you know, ultimately the best part that I like. That kind of, you know, motivates me to get that build, you know, off the ground and you know, become an actual project. So that's my favorite part of the building aspect. I'm gonna pass it back over to Dennis, my boy Dennis in Florida.
Yeah, I'm like Freddie and like Armando. I think the best part is when you're trying to piece together what your idea is. You see it in your mind, and then to try to make it come together in your model. You know, buying the pieces. Whenever I'm at a show, I'm thinking about a model I'm going to build, so I buy all these pieces while I'm at the show. And I think that the funnest part is like just getting it all together, and then trying to see if you can make your vision on the, you know, on your model. I think that's the favorite part that I have. So yeah, that, and then when it's all done, because in between, that's the worst part. You know, so when you start and then when it's finished, that's the best part probably. So I'm with these guys. So I guess we're gonna pass over to Chippa T.
Chippa T.
All right, so y'all know I had a little connection problems, but I believe the topic is what's my favorite part of building.
Yeah. What's your favorite part?
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's the fabrication. When it comes down to completion, I'm just terribly like I have no energy for that. Like that's the least favorite part. But I think the favorite part is fabrication, seeing all the scratch building, things like that come together. I think that's what really fuels me to keep going. So yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man. And
Who do we have left? Who do I pass
who's
it
left?
to?
Me.
Here you go, Joey.
You're next.
Hold on. Chippa T, put me on.
Got you. Yeah, let's do it. George, you're next.
Bring me in,
Give me your
coach.
swag.
Tag, you're in.
All right, cool. Basically, guys, for me, like I spend a lot of time. Once I have the vision in my head, I mean, I buy a kit knowing already what my vision is to, you know, what I want to do for the car. My most important thing is always stance. So it's also like a couple of parters, just like some of these guys, like Ryan, is the stance. Pretty much I spend a lot of time looking for the wheel and tire combination that sets the tone. Once I get the right wheel and tire combination that I'm set, that sets the tone for the rest of the build. Once I'm happy with that, then it's pretty much final assembly is always, like Wes said, is kind of like you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're in the home stretch. So for me, it's final assembly. But most of the time, it's just like mock up, getting the right tire and wheel combination, and that gets exciting for me. That sets the tone. And once I'm happy, then it just excites me to get going on the build. So that's pretty much it. So what about you, Edgar?
Yeah, my favorite part, definitely the fabrication part. Just, you know, once I have that model in my hands and I'm staring at the body, I'm already visualizing like what's coming off. And once I'm starting doing that research, looking at images, seeing other one-on-one scale cars customization from based on that model car that I'm doing, I start to get really excited. And then once, you know, I start filling in areas with the glue, with the accelerator, sanding, and it starts to come to life with the early stages with the primer. I don't know what it is, but I love looking at cars in primer a lot. And sometimes I just leave them like that for a while, sometimes a little too long, you know. And then eventually coming up with the paint sometimes can take longer, just because I'm very undecided yet to take that leap of faith yet, you know. But once things start to come together, the other part, the second part would be just like the final stage is the clear coating. That's another part I really like a lot right there.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta this comment about primer. That's always exciting moment once the car's in primer, because I'll tell you one thing, man. There's some shows have primer tables, and sometimes I have spent a lot of time just chilling in that table, looking at, you know, the progress of somebody's work in progress build. And the primer stage is always cool to see, you know.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm even building like putting a theme on a show and just being primer table as the main theme. It gives somebody an opportunity to bring what they have in primer, and I think that'll be a cool theme one year.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because you could that'll get those creative juices flowing. You know, they bring them out. A lot of the stuff has been in boxes for a long time, and they get all that extra love for it. Everybody gets excited about it, and then they're gonna get excited about it back.
Yeah, it's cool
and encourage them to finish. So that's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'll be cool to do that in one show, because if you could get that stage where you're like 70%, you know, or a good 65 after primer, I mean, that's always like, you know, it's before you can have a issue with clear or base coat or something. It's exciting because there's really not a lot of error you can do when you're at the primer stage, you know. And it's unforgiving, in other words, you know. That's the
and cool. I wanted to add something to it, like you know, I'm pretty sure you guys go through the same problem I get, because I've been building for like over 30 years, but I have parts that I say I'm gonna build this car I can't say one day, I have to say like one of these years. And I have parts that I save for that specific model kit. And not until you get all the puzzle together, that's when you start working on that project. I don't know if you guys go through the same.
Yeah, definitely done that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like George was saying, like the primer table. You know how we are when we go to Atlanta, they have that table set up over there with all like work in progress builds and everything. There's a lot of vehicles that sit over there, so you know, people see what people are doing, you know, they didn't get finished in time or they're still working on it. And sometimes I see the same thing every year, but you can see more progress done because it's just such tedious work that they're doing on it. You know, so it takes a while, you know, for the vision to come out the way they want it to come out.
Right.
That's how they do it on real car shows too. Like at the Grand National.
Yeah.
They have the car in all metal, and then they have it all in primer, and then they have it all done.
Right. And another thing about that is like people do see your fabrication there, you know, and all the, you know, the stuff that you scratch built, you know, because once it's painted and stuff, sometimes it's, you know, people don't know that you actually scratch built some of those parts. But when you see in bare styrene and primer, and then you can tell that, you know, how much work you put into that, you know.
Can see that.
Or like what you're saying is that also that once you put the body on the car, I mean the frame on the body and everything, then nobody will see that, so they don't see your fabrication that you did. So when it's sitting on that table over there, people can see what you did, because once you put that the body on the frame, then you're not gonna see none of that stuff. So people don't even know what you did.
Yeah.
So that table shows the spotlights like, hey, this is this. So when you see it again, you won't even know that that was the same car, because now it looks totally different, you know, painted and stuff like that. So now you like, unless you look at a book, because sometimes people have books out there or little videos by their models that tell you what they did to it, you'll never know.
Right.
Yeah, and since we're talking about primers right now, I know a lot of us use the gray primer, but is there another secondary color you guys like to transition into or like to use a lot?
Nah, just
Well, for me,
Mostly gray.
Yeah.
Mostly gray, and of course you're doing white and white, but yeah.
You know what? I stick to gray because white is for some reason white. I don't. Sometimes I try to prime in white. Like I find myself now priming in gray, and then if I have to have a white primer base, I'll end up painting primer over that gray, because like if I'm doing that, sometimes with the white, you don't see the imperfections, but in gray they show up, you know.
yeah.
Also, that white gets dirty quick.
Yeah, yeah.
You start saying it, it's like,
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
I will
Gray.
say one thing, that I've used black primer before to hide some mistakes. I've noticed like I've had some flaws in some body work. I know it's kind of like half, kind of like half doing it, but I noticed that sometimes if you find the right black, you can hide some of the stuff, some of the flaws that you have. I don't recommend doing it. Go ahead and get those imperfections out. But just a little tip.
Yeah,
Right
for
up.
me, it just depends on the overall look that you're going for.
Yeah.
So I mean, because that's your foundation. So at the end of the day, it's gonna make your color or your end color brighter, darker, so or in between. So
Right.
This is the primer that I use, and I've been using this primer for many years. And this is the pink one. I don't know if you ever tried the pink one.
I
Oh, yeah.
haven't, but people like them.
It's good when you're gonna throw a red color.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
recommend that.
I was gonna ask if you use that for underneath everything.
I use it on boogie nights too, and then I use gray after that. But that was just for the markup.
Cool.
Yeah.
This
I think gray, you can see a lot of the, extra work that you still need to work on.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've used gray before to get my body work done. And then after that, especially if I'm doing a light color, I'll spray white primer right before I start the paint.
Right.
Mhm.
Even white, even like if I stick to all, I also heard that if you stick to all Tamiya paints, you can just go with a white Tamiya lacquer, even a flat white. It still works as same as a white base, other than the primer. And then the nice thing about the Tamiya paints is that they paint good on top of each other, from my experience anyway. So I I heard guys use, you know, when they don't have the white primer and they have a white Tamiya, like pure white or something, that also worked as a base for like if they paint the car yellow or like a light color. That also works as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of primer, am I the only one that uses Krylon? I know a lot of
I
guys favor
stopped using that
Resto.
stuff.
Not at all. I just started using that stuff.
I love
Thank
Krylon,
God I
man.
use it.
Yeah,
Hey, it's whatever works for you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
of course, of course. Yeah, I know there's some people that also prefer the you know, the cheap dollar, you know, $1.96, you know, from Walmart or whatever. But
I will
yeah,
tell
Krylon's
you.
always been
I
in
will
for me.
tell you when Walmart used to have the 99-cent primer
Yeah, that
packs,
one.
they don't
Yeah.
have them anymore. I would buy them by the case. That was my go-to primer. I think I remember talking with Freddie about it a few years back when I was still in Texas. It was my go-to. Like it would lay down very smooth. It would sand very easy
Nice.
for body work. But again, once you're gonna move on to the paint, I would change to something that was gonna uniformly cover the entire body. But that Walmart primer and
Was
that
good.
black from Walmart, man, I
Yeah, the
love
black.
it. Yeah.
The black is perfect. I still get it if you can. You got to get that flat black. It works good
Yeah.
still sometimes.
Yeah, I used to use that back in the days when we used to use enamel paint.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
it
is
worked
an
perfect with the
enamel.
enamel.
Yeah, it's an enamel.
It's an enamel, so you got to be careful with it.
Yeah.
Gotta let it dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
Once I
within the same paste systems.
Yeah, when I introduced to House of Colors, that's it. It was not like, I don't even want to try something else because I don't want to experience something that I already know how it works. So,
Exactly.
and I got pretty much almost any color. So all I have to do is just kind of mix it with any color and create my own combination.
Hey Wes, what do you use on your
For primer and stuff, I mainly use Duplicolor, man.
really? It's
Yeah, the filler primer and the primer sealer for mine. It's
Oh.
like a two-step process.
okay. I tried the sealer primer, was good for me, and then I don't know if it was like 2 years ago or something, they changed the formula or something, and then I tried another body, and then it didn't like the lacquer on top of it. I don't know why, but you know, sometimes it's a bad can, you know.
Right.
And I ended up just going back to Maya because it's like Armando says, stick to what works. You know,
Yeah.
if it ain't, don't fix it. You know.
No, definitely. Like my two, like I've kind of flipped back and forth between Duplicolor and Tamiya primer. Like the white primer for me is good for any light color that I'm gonna spray. That's usually like the base, the go-to that I want to do. But like the Duplicolor, the filler is mainly I use if I do a lot of body work or any type of, you know, custom scratch building, anything like that. And then the sealer is just it's a good primer to lay down to lock it in, and, you know, wet sand it down and right before you spray color. So
I'm gonna have to try that again. Like I said, I had an attempt. I might have had a bad can, but you know, sometimes even like right now, I was joking with my guys in the club, and I say, hey, you know, with this Corona, I say, hey guys, you better go to Hobby Lobby and stock up on your primers, right? And I know I have 2 white cans, but then now I ran out of gray, right? So oh, I can't even go to Hobby Lobby because they shut down good for temporarily anyway.
yeah.
So I can, you know, and the hobby stores ain't open by me. So I either gotta order it online and wait forever or whatever. I just stick to the white ones that I have. But yeah, the one build that I got, it's a peppermint green Porsche, and I had to use white primer. So at least I was able to finish that one. You know, I just cleared that car today anyway. So, but yeah, joking with my guys, like, oh, you get your stuff on lobby, and those guys laughed at me. And now I'm the one that really needed to, you know, stay. And now I can't even go to Hobby Lobby.
Man, that's crazy.
No.
right now that you brought up that car, I wanted to transition to some spotlight builds. Can you show us where you're at right now with it, with the Porsche?
Yeah, sure. Let me do this real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it into clear today. I'm using in the last couple of builds, I use House Color Show Clear. And I was telling Armando earlier that it got a little heavier than I wanted. So I'm gonna need to do more wet sanding and buffing. But I think it's gonna be fine once I do, the wet sanding and polishing it. It'll be fine. But yeah, this is the body now. This body for some reason been fighting me a little bit. I had it in base coat 3 days ago, and then when I went to clear, it fisheyed on me, and I don't know, maybe I had oily hands or something, and I touched the body, and so I had it strip it all the way down. And last night I base coated it again, and about 2 hours ago I did this clear. So now, I mean, I could start pretty much. I'll give it another day. I left it in the dehydrator about 3 hours, 2-3 hours. So so it should be good. Tomorrow I'll probably start, depending on how I feel with it. If it feels nice and cured, I'll probably start wet sanding it. So that's basically it. Let me see what else. I got the chassis right here. I painted the black on, I had the base coat on it, and then the black. So I still got to paint that. But that's basically where I'm at with that car. So
that looks dope.
Yeah, it looks bad, man.
Yeah, we were talking about it, George. Remember?
Right.
What time was it on your time?
So right now. So
not right now. When we were talking about that Porsche last night.
We were talking about this for me it was 4 in the morning. For you it was like 1.
Ooh, wow.
That's what I call passion, right?
Dedicated magazine.
Exactly.
And I had to work. I have to get up at 5 and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
That is
That model hotline.
Emergency. One of those nights that I just took a nap like late afternoon, and then I was wide awake around 1 in the morning, and I see Mando calling me, but I know it's earlier. It's like 10 o'clock at his house. So, but he saw me post something on Instagram, so he said, "This guy's up." You know what I'm saying?
You awake?
So we were chopping it up for a couple hours. It was a good time, right, Armando?
That's pretty cool. Hey, Chippa T.
What's going on?
Do you have some builds on your table?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, let's go right ahead. Let's get into it.
Oh man, I'm not really I don't know if I can turn this around, but I'm gonna do this like this, and maybe you guys can see a little bit of what I'm building. Can y'all see that?
Oh yeah,
you got a chassis right there.
Yeah.
I see some headphones.
Cool. I'm glad you guys like the headphones. I'll play those JBCs. So yeah, I'm just doing a little framework, reinforcing this, getting all the arches and everything cleaned up. This is actually my club brother's car, and I'm just doing the framework for it. This 57 here, I don't know if y'all can see that. This is like this is the car that has like all my attention that I want to get done for August, if we're not in quarantine anymore.
If you could ever get that cake out.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I don't know what that color looks like, but this is actually a fingernail polish enamel color. It's
Top of
called
the car or the whole car?
I'm sorry?
The top of the car or the whole car?
Just the whole car itself. The top is actually a purplicious rattle can color, but I've added the Franklin ink decals. kind of do ghost patterns or whatever. But the actual body color was at first it was a lavender, and then that was a rattle can. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and try my hands at fingernail polish once again. So after watching some Tony Seven and just like really looking at a bunch of different colors, I was like, well, let me go ahead and make something down, shoot it, bow. So I thought the color was pink, and I don't know how it looks on here, like I said, but it has a lavender pinkish, very light purple look to it. I think that lavender base like really made that purplish, pinkish look to it. So yeah, and then after adding the decals on there, just kind of did a little cleanup under there, little LT motor.
Man, they jacked you, man. They got your wheels, man. You're on bricks.
Those are wheels are actually coming in. Shout out to 3D Scale Parts. They're on the way. So the main thing with this was just really all of the detail. I wanted to try to do as much detail as possible, as far as interior, trunk, engine, interior. Just try my hands at something different, y'all. I mean,
That's how you do it.
Yeah, looking good, man.
Nice.
Thanks.
Cool, man.
Good.
The
So-
colors all flow together, the interior with the outside.
Thanks. That was that's how I started. The interior is actually how I came up with all the other colors. I was like, I don't want to do the all purple interior. So I started, incorporating some other colors, and I was like, well, hold on, let me go ahead and try to do something with the body. And yeah, so that's that. And then I have this Riviera here. This one last important build. This is actually a build off car between me and Jesus, 21 Customs. Y'all can't see it. There it is.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm actually nervous, like super, super nervous, but I think,
Wait, I want to hear about how you ended up getting in a battle with JC.
So
Wait, hold up. Stop right there. I need backstory.
So shout out to JC 21 Cousins, man. That's the person that I look up to since I was like 15. But anyhow, I was working on a Riviera, the silver one, and he had DM'd me. He was like, "Man, you should try to do a modern style interior." And I was like, "Man, I'm not trying my hands at that. I want to try my hands at the 80s and 90s, lowrider style." And he was like, "No, you should try to do the modern style because that's what everybody else is doing." And I'm like, no disrespect, but I don't think you should tell me what I should be doing. Now I did come off a little like, hot-headed.
Yeah, chip a shot going.
But I was like, I think I've been doing pretty good with the 80s, 90s style interior. I want to kind of keep that going. It was something that Tingo's taught me, so why not keep doing it? Why not keep incorporating it and getting better at it? And so, I was just like being hot-headed. I was like, you know what, man? Let's do it. Let's have a build off. I'm going to do my 80s and 90s style interior. You can build a modern style. I'm going to kick you. I'm going to beat your butt. And so it didn't necessarily go like that, but I was like, you know what, man? If you can get a Riviera, I'll build my Riviera. We have a nice build off. Let's do it. Now, I told him, I was like, man, you have a big advantage because, your painting is, and look at my painting. I'm actually gonna try to tape this one up for the first time. And fingers crossed with this quarantine stuff, I'm going to try to take the trip to Jesus for maybe like the second week before the show of August. So maybe like that first week or so, just kind of like go and hang out with him for maybe a day or so, get a bunch of footage and just kind of like, have a little battle right then and there.
That's cool.
So yeah, August 15th, we'll be having the battle out. That's when the car should be done. Tune in.
Look, man.
Props, man, for taking that challenge, dude. That's cool.
Hey, thanks, man. I tell you, I'm super nervous. He hasn't even gotten his car yet. He's like, you can start, and I was like, I don't want to start. I want to make this fair because when you beat
go ahead and
me,
start, dude. Take whatever you can.
Okay, since you said that, I'm starting tonight.
I got your back. Run with
All
it.
right.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I'm building, man. That's what's on my table.
That's cool. We want to pass this on to. What about you, Ryan?
For me,
Yeah, you got anything around you?
yeah,
to show us?
I've been slowly chipping away at another Civic right here. Let me see if I flip this around real quick. Let's see.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love your
Sorry.
setup, Ryan. Jeez, fancy.
Hey, man. What can I say? What can I say?
Nice.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty dark, but yeah, it's, you know, got the stance right. It's all set up already. It's clear. I just got to cut and buff. Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
coming
Like,
out backwards. It's
Yeah.
trippy.
Ooh.
What you got in there?
Yeah, what's inside?
It's that B18, man. Let me see if I
On
get
that.
Let's see. Oh, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do like Dennis was talking about earlier. You know, when you have the body on, you lose all the detail. You know, you lose everything. So let me pull this off. I'll throw this one on here real quick. George just posted this one up today for me
Oh
today.
yeah.
that thing is bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
Bad truck, man.
Yeah, that's a cool one, man. I did that one like almost not quite a year, but about a year ago now. Pull this off.
Nice. That turbo sticking out is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah.
Flip those.
Yeah, I detailed up the interior. I didn't cut the doors or I didn't chop the top, but came out pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks good that way.
Yeah. Is there a body of that, or do you customize everything?
No, yeah, that was a kit. It's I think it's a AMT kit, and it was pretty rough to start with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I just pretty much got it in the weeds. I chopped up the body, did a major body drop on it, channeled it, and then
Major body drop.
Love it.
yeah, I touched everything on it. I think I chopped the frame in half and then just messed with it. You know, you gotta make it work.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
It just the stance is so sinister.
Yeah, for sure. I actually built this because I built another semi, a black one, and some guy hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I want to pick that up off you." So I kind of regret it, but I let it go. So I shipped it out to him, and once I shipped it out, I was like, I got to do another one quick.
Mm-hmm.
I built this. Let me throw this Civic back up real quick.
Love it, man. Love it.
Man, that's dope, man.
Here goes the Civic.
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Oh.
All right.
See, you can see everything now. It's
Oh,
like
wow, yeah.
the body on it, you can't see nothing.
Damn,
Right?
a lot of that's gonna be hidden. Oh,
Yeah, that's all gonna be
Scratch the
you got that battery, that roll cage.
Sweet.
Oh, it's all coming out backwards.
nice.
There we go. This is hard to control this backwards.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is hard, dude.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty cool.
The
I got some carbon in there.
Yeah, on that intake.
Yeah, an intake and then on strut bar.
music.
Is the manifold
Damn,
aluminum?
What's that?
The manifold, all the pipes sticking out?
The manifold is just painted.
Are you just painted? It looks like aluminum.
You did a little wash on it?
Yeah, I did a wash thing.
Yeah, that makes a difference, yeah.
I like the Mugen valve cover. Where did you get that one from?
The valve cover, that was from Scale Customs.
Okay.
Justin over there.
Scale Life.
Scale Life.
Yeah.
My club mate.
Right.
Yeah, he's out of business right now, but he
Right.
should be back once he gets everything settled. Let me show you this.
Nice.
That's pretty much it for me, man. I've just been chipping away at that thing, and then taking it slow. You know, everything's kind of slowed down right now, so I'm just trying to take my time with it.
Hey, Ryan, is that the Fujimi chair or the Ravel?
This is the Fujimi
Okay.
Type R.
So what about the engine bay? You scratch build it? Cause it's a
Engine bay, yeah, it's a curbside. You have to open up everything. So I open the doors, and then I open the engine bay.
right.
And for this, I started with the firewall. He had Justin had a firewall for the
Right.
and it's a little bit small, so I just kind of extended it. And solder for the headers, and then the whole roll cage is all solder. and I
Cool.
just kind of roll it out. It comes like in rolls, so I just like roll it
Yeah.
out flat, and then I get like rods of it, and it just kind of built it the way I need to.
That's good.
Right here, this steering wheel. I got the tilt steering wheel. Have you guys seen that? Anybody?
Oh, nice.
No, I didn't see that.
wow.
You know what? I want to do a Civic with that look on it, with that tilted. Those, for you guys that don't know, some that aren't into tuners, there's a like hub that goes on the steering wheel that has a like a hinge, and it locks. You can lock it that way. That's actually like to change the position and then take the steering wheel off. But guys at the show put it in that position, and it always looks cool.
Yeah,
So
that was just like one little detail, and I had to sneak that in there.
Yeah,
I got
not everybody's
no.
gonna understand that, but you know, guys that know these cars, they do, you know.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "What's wrong with that steering wheel, man? That doesn't look
Yeah.
right."
It looks
Just
good.
little
Man.
stuff, yeah, like these fittings and stuff that you're just not gonna see all that kind of stuff after it's all put together.
Man,
So that's it. That's me, man. Sorry. I love
beautiful
that
work,
kind of
man.
detail that just gets lost, you know. It all
Yeah.
gets lost.
So the color is dark green.
It's a dark green. Yeah, I should have put it maybe on a black background, but it's a dark green.
That's nice. A quick question for you: how many hours do you think it took for most of that to be put together?
Bro, I don't even know.
Nice.
You lose track,
Nice.
man. When it's a labor of love, you don't count it, man. It's just a passion.
Right.
Yeah. So did you
So who's
grind the
next, man?
tires?
What's that?
Did you file the tires so that you can get a better camber, like mean?
No, the tires they're stretched. They're like real stretched out,
Uh-huh.
and I just got them stanced. They have kind of like a camber to them a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So they're not totally like losing grip, but
Yeah, some tires, you know, they come with this camber already on them, so it helps when lowering these cars, you know. Another trick is like if you can go with some of these tires are real soft, right? So they stretch into a bigger, bigger wheel. So like if you use like a trick I use is sometimes like if you're using a tire like that is soft, and the front, the outside lip of it's bigger, then the inner back spacing, you could make it a smaller diameter, and that also gives you, you know, the inside give you a little camber.
Yep,
That's
for sure.
another to do it too.
Exactly.
That's great, man.
That's nice, man. That's nice detail on that motor.
Thanks, guys.
And those seat belts, those things are a pain to put together.
Oh my god, I know. I don't know why I did 2 of them like a dummy.
They're pain in the ass.
Oh,
They look
dude.
good
Oh.
when they're done.
Yep.
That's cool. Hey Wes, wanted to ask you if you can give us a tour of your setup.
Oh yeah. It's let me see here if I can turn this around because as most of you guys know, I bought a house. Me and my wife bought a house. About
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations, sir.
And been setting up the hobby room. You know, and I finally got it mostly. Let's see if I can turn it. All right, so kind of give you guys a quick.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
There's the stash.
Nice.
There got a couple posters up there on the wall.
Yes, sir. Gotta have those.
You know, but the stash, God knows if I'll ever get to all these kits, but
One day.
You know, just some of my awards up on the wall. I was telling Edgar earlier, I don't have everything unpacked yet. I have way too much stuff, man. Some more awards, like a parts board there, all my spare parts.
Nice.
That's cool.
Everything's not really catalog per se, but you know, it kind of is.
Yes,
Right.
where you see it at.
Right. And this is a workbench here.
Love
So,
it.
a lot of my finished builds up here currently.
Right.
a lot of these ones you guys have seen that I posted. There's the infamous 2020 Supra.
There it
Nice.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then just some like my little business wall here, like different shops, business cards and stuff, and then some more parts here, and then some projects, never-ending projects there. But it's coming along, slowly but surely. But the room next door is going to be the paint booth, or the paint room. That's not quite set up yet, so I'm not going to take you guys on a tour of that just yet. But I do have a couple other builds on the bench, so I finally started getting to mess around with stuff. There's a little I don't know how well you got. Yep, little Toyota Hilux right there.
Nice.
Cut the hood open. It's gonna have a motor. I'm not sure what I'm gonna run in it just yet. It's got an Iceman frame, half a frame in the back.
Nice.
So I'd probably go with one of the motors too. One of the Nissan motors maybe, just for something different, But it's got 19-inch AL Shima wheels.
Those are rare. You don't see those often.
I was just thinking the same. Yeah, those are rare.
Tell me about it. It's the only set I got, but they're probably gonna end up going on that. And then the other thing I got, I just kind of dug it out. Some of you guys saw it on
Instagram. Nice.
Yeah.
Posting that one lately.
Yeah,
I like that color on it.
Yeah, what color is that?
Is that jade?
Believe it or not, it's a Maya. It's like a Japanese cockpit green.
Oh, right on.
Let me see if I turn the light off here, if you can get a better view of the color there. It's kind of, but
Was that a flat paint at first?
It was flat, and then I just cleared over. And for doing like a lot of like hot rod styles like this, or like bombs, the military colors make great paints for that.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of color.
That's Tamiya aircraft line, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's what's on the Herbie, guys. Light gray of that one. I think it was German, but the nice thing about the flats that they accept the clear really good.
Yeah, they lay down real nice too.
Lay down real nice, yeah.
Yeah, usually smooth pretty much every time,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been messing with. Just like I said, I just got the room set up, so kind of getting back into it. So slowly but surely. So it's been fun though, that's for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, nice room.
Thanks, bro.
Luis.
Got him.
Wake up.
I didn't want to speak on us.
Well, I got a few cars on the bench. This one's the one I'm kind of have my focus on right now. It's a 62 that was gifted to my brother by Ivan, Little Shop of Models, I believe, on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I got the color right here. I had the color right here. It's gonna be Corona Cream. One of the original colors that came on this car, I believe, in 1962.
Yep.
And
it's called Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too soon.
But anyways, I don't know if you guys can see that. I have the little glass in there. It's just like the little market piece. Once this piece is kind of thick. I might get a thinner piece once this Corona stuff is all over with. But I was thinking of how I was gonna do a little trim on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
I figured if I used like an actual styrene piece, it wouldn't work because it's gonna fog up the glass. So I'm just thinking of using that chrome trim from Japan, the Hasegawa one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna lay it on there, and once I have the final piece created from the plastic, I'm just gonna cut it into two pieces for the rear glass piece and the door piece. And I don't know if you guys have ever noticed on these Impalas. I never noticed it until I was doing this 64
Mhm.
The wheel just fell off again. Anyway,
Oh,
Broke a ball joint again.
You gotta fix that ball joint.
Live.
You need to stop hopping it.
but
Chipper.
let me let me see if I could. I don't know if you guys could see this one. I don't know if that's. Oh no, it's this side. That's incorrect. I mentioned it on my Instagram story once, but this one has the letters first, then the little badge, and it's supposed to be the opposite way, where it's the round badge first, then the impala. And I fixed it on this one. It's the little circle piece comes first, and then the letters. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I never noticed that. Somebody recently pointed that out.
yeah,
And I was like,
it
what?
was- I
This
think
whole
it was
time.
pointed it out recently, but I also noticed it on this 62. I had to shave off the little emblems on the back, the Impala and then the Super Sport. Because this car also has it. Let me show you. When I did this car, I still didn't notice it. Is the Impala words first, then the little badge.
Oh, it's supposed to be
So
backwards?
yeah, it's supposed to be the round piece first,
Oh.
then the Impala letters. I never noticed that. I don't know if it's on any other cars as well, but so far it's on the 64 and the 62. I have a feeling it's only going to be on those. Maybe the 63. I haven't paid attention to it. But my fix to that is just going to use the photo edge letters.
There you go.
And you can also use the little round piece from the photo edge kit. But I was planning on using, I want to look for the little decals that come in the 62 hardtop. See if I could use those decals on the fenders. That's the one. But yeah, I want to see if I could use those decals
Like
just for the
what's
little
inside this
on-
box?
What's up?
Like the ones inside this box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I want to see if I can use the decals for the fender and the round little circle, the Super Sport emblem. Just the way I did this one. And it gives it a super clean look when you use the decal and the little photo edge piece also on the fender. Instead of using, I don't know, I kind of like it. I don't know how well you can see that. There you go.
There you
But
go.
I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
it gives it a cleaner look using the decal. Because when you use a photo edge, it's only gonna be silver unless you take the time to paint it. But sometimes it might not even come out how you want it. So I kind of prefer using the decal. This car, I didn't even use decals. I just did the fender one. But as you can see, I didn't do the words on the back. The 64 I did a lot of things to it that I never would do, like the little trim on the tail lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice.
The little decal on the trunk emblem as well, the Chevy logo. I'm not sure what.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, little details that make a big difference, honestly. That I would never do.
Just it's awesome when you can go true, it's true to the real thing,
Yeah, there you go. And then I think one of the first things I did on the 62 was probably smooth the firewall. I usually always do that on my cars, just to give it a cleaner look, and then just leave the little hole for the brake booster. And the second thing I did was smooth out the underside of the hood as well, and then I also hinged it. So that's how I do my hinges in two different pieces.
Super clean.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. Hey, thanks for sharing that, man. I tried those hinges out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know a guy called Carlos Hernandez on Facebook. Well, but a while back he gave me the tip of molding the tubing onto your hood. And ever since I started doing that, dude, it gives it a way cleaner look. I'll see if I can.
I noticed that.
That's some of my old tubing on the trunk. It's just glued on there, you know? And
Right.
the difference, it's actually like.
Yeah, it looks way cleaner. So what do you do? You sand it flat, or you get a square tubing, or what?
I use round tubing, and then I just fill it up with glue on the sides, and just with the Dremel with a round bit, I clean it up as much as I can, and then the God hand sanding pads, I just keep going at it with it, and then sometimes I use a round 5 as well.
So same thing.
Fold it in.
Yeah, and ever since I started doing that, man, it just honestly, I started doing it to all my cars, even on this 62.
Way cleaner, man. It looks better that way.
Mhm.
He
It's
knows
more
right now, bro.
yeah,
Nice.
like finished look, you know.
Yeah.
Looks dope.
Here's a, yeah. So I do it on all my cars, and then. So let me know if you guys still have those decals.
I'm looking.
Go ahead.
They're somewhere in here.
Alright, cool. So here's another car, truck, 94 Lightning, 94, 93, 94. I wanna try something different. I wanna 3D print some wheels. I'm trying to do like a small replica from a truck that's out in Texas. And you guys might have seen the little test print I did of my wheels, but it was my first time using the printers at school. And honestly, I had a big smile when I saw them print. They're not meant like, I wouldn't use these on a car because they're not even
Right.
like quality, like I guess. But it kind of gives me an idea of what it's gonna look like, a little piece.
Yeah,
of
it's a start. Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to have like big lip on the back, and as soon as I get those wheels properly designed and printed, I can start cutting up the tubs on the back and widen them as much as I need. But the thing I'm gonna do on the tubs on these, people usually do the round tubs, which I personally don't like. I'm just gonna cut the original tubs and then just extend them a bit, just to kind of give
Extend
it
them,
the original look. Just to
It
kind of
looks more OEM that way.
What was that?
It looks more OEM, more
Yeah,
definitely.
that's kind of what I like. Just kind of keeping the original look, but giving it a little bit of a twist.
Right.
Oh, this was my first time ever hinging a truck, and I didn't do so bad for the first truck I ever hinged.
Good
Nice,
job.
I still need to cut down the rod pieces down, but I'll do that in the future.
But yeah, you got it down, man. They don't fall down.
I know,
They
right?
don't fall.
And the clothes is nice.
Yeah.
I need practice,
On this car, I didn't hinge it, and I regret it so much because I have little chips around the whole hood. You probably can't tell, but I've dropped
For a
it
while,
a few
man.
times, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
For a while, that was the one thing I didn't do. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another.
I hate myself for doing that.
Here's another car, also not hinged.
Yeah.
But some of these cars are my old ones, so I'm still like getting into hinging like recently.
Yeah.
So I kind of want all my cars to be hinged because I don't want to be dealing with hood or trunks falling down or whatever. But here's paint on this 62.
Damn.
Wow.
It's all the same color. I just shot it a little bit heavier or lighter in different areas.
That looks good, man.
Thank you. I have the full
All the chrome.
engine. Something different. I don't know.
That's tight. That looks good.
I have all the chrome pieces. I just need I kind of like this color interior. This is Tamiya, the gray primer. But
Yeah.
I kind of like it just to do something different. But I'm still undecided if I should actually go with an actual color. But I wouldn't know what color to choose. I don't want to choose the same color as the car because like it's gonna lose.
Right.
It's gonna lose.
You don't want to fight
That gray works.
What was that?
You don't want it to fight the work you did on the body and the paint. You know?
Yeah. I don't want it to get lost, basically.
Right.
Yeah, I think white would look good on that interior.
Yeah.
White's almost a little bit too expected, though. The white is kind of too easy.
Yeah. But I don't
like the idea of gray.
You can do the paint stitching.
On Spoon, see what I come up with.
Maybe a little bit darker of a gray.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not obviously primer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. But yeah, I'll see what I come up with. I'll do some test shots on the spoons and see what color I like.
Looks cool.
I think that's it. I have the Cadillac. You guys seen that?
I
think I showed this on the last stream.
Right.
I'm actually working on custom inner fenders. I won't show that. Just kind of keep it a little secret. Kind of keep the.
I like how you opened up the back window, though.
What was that?
I like how you opened up the back window, though.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of opening up the side window as well, but I'm still a little unsure on that. But I think it's
Hey, Edgar, are we gonna jump on to chat? What people asking in the chat, or we're gonna continue on?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Freddie if he wanted to showcase something before we jump into the chat questions.
The only thing that I have, guys, I haven't, since I've been in the process of getting a new house as well and all that stuff, and I still haven't built my shop yet. Still waiting for my HOA to approve the building plans for my shed, my man cave.
Dude, your address is so new, like the USPS did not recognize it.
Really?
Yeah, I had to force it. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I mean, I just have just whatever everybody already seen here, so got the sweetheart and Gary Seed's car and
Sir,
Purple Haze here.
never get tired of seeing those cars, man.
Nice.
Appreciate it. And then just want to give a shout out, man, again to Tropical Glitz, man. They got the bomb flake, man.
Yeah.
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 And then it's a little sneak peek of George. You ready?
Yeah. Oh.
Can we get another sneak peek?
That was it.
Screenshot.
I took a picture.
Someone screenshot.
Oh, the Corona.
Nuts. But it looked nice.
I like that.
Yeah,
it's still in the works, guys. That's why I haven't busted out my paint and stuff. That's all I got.
Right. Who's got the TV on in the background?
Uh-oh, who got the TV on in the background?
All right. So I do got a question. This one from the chat room on YouTube, and this is from Chester. And so he's asking this is for everybody, and then we'll do a roundabout, have everybody answer this. He wants to know who would you want to learn from as a build style for a day? So like in one day, you only got one day, you choose, a model builder. You want to learn their style, absorb the style. Who would you pick? And let's start things off with Iceman.
That's a tough question, man. There are so many of you guys out there that have so many awesome techniques. I just reached out to Wes not too long ago because like I told you guys last week, the paint is something that I continue to work on and perfect. It's been a challenge for me for quite a while. I'm lucky when I can get a solid color and to clear it and it work out. I reached out to Freddie as well, and he even sent me a kit already all taped up. A monte, it's there, Freddie. I'm gonna get to it, man. I'm gonna get to it.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna get to it, bro. That's a really hard question, but gun to the head, if I had to learn from one person just because of my challenges, I'd stick with Wes to kind of follow him live, to follow his process. But in one day, you can only learn so much, So
Yeah.
Shout out to him for writing out this list of his steps on Instagram Manager. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, bro. Like I said.
Yeah, I would want to see, how the steps that he gave me written down, what they actually look like.
Yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, I tell people reach out if they want to know, because it's the only way you learn.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, and there's so many things that I want to learn from a lot of these other guys. But for me, where I'm at with my skill, I think paint is the next thing for me that's gonna help me kind of pick up the level of my builds.
Respect.
Cool. And who do you want to pick, Iceman? Who's next to answer that?
Let's go to David.
All right. So basically, I would pick anybody. There's a good list of 10 or more awesome painters that I love to just chill with for a day, and just with the patterns and everything are really. So realistically, if I had to say one person or two, realistically, just because they're in Texas, would be like Tony Johnson or JC, 21 Customs, because they're the closest to me, and most likely. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, we can go down a list of, yeah, cool dozen people at least who I love to chill with for a day and just work on paint.
For sure.
All right, that's it. Dennis.
I guess I would like to go over there with Armando and learn how to paint from Armando. I need to learn how to do some of the styles he's doing, how fast he's doing these paint jobs. I need to learn that technique. Learn. Come over there with my ninja shoes on and start learning stuff.
Come on over. Mi casa es tu casa. So
Man, come over there. I ain't gonna drink an 805. You see it right there, right there.
Right.
You know, I'll come over there. You gotta, you know, give me some juice or something.
Thank you.
All right, pick somebody, Dennis.
Chippity.
Man, that's a tough question, y'all. That's a really tough question. I'm going to go with what my gut was telling me, and that's Luis, because me and him, like, just over the years, always been like, yo, you should try this or that or this. And so, you know, just to kind of spend that day and just really learn his style. And like, it's very clean that he does. You know, all his work is really clean. So, you know, I think that would be like one that I would really like to be like, bro, let's do this. Everything you're about to do, I'm going to do. Yeah. And of course, all of y'all. All the rest of you, of course. I'm gonna pass to you, George.
Oh, all right, cool. Well, man, that's hard. Like everybody else said, it's hard because I want to learn a lot of things from everybody, but like it's easy to say for me, Luis, for the hinging, you know, because I love his hinge work. Armando for his paint, his patterns and stuff. But there's a couple of guys even on YouTube that you know, that I learned to love their style. One of them being Grant for No Scale Auto. Really cool guy. I love his style and the way he weathers his cars. I like to learn. If I had to pick one day to pick, will be him. And I would just name some like for another one. You know, if I had to pick another, just somebody, just not to blur out a name, but somebody who is good with lighting and special effects. I would love to learn from somebody who can teach me how to, you know, light up a car really good, you know, and do sounds and stuff. I mean, it's easy to say Jerry's, but I can't just hop in my car or plane and just go over there real quick. He said, the other side of the world. But you know, somebody who I can learn to do those things, you know, to take my builds to the next level. I would like to learn how to light up a car and do sounds and stuff, you know, just to learn that step. So who do I pick? Ryan.
That's good. For me, like, cause I know myself, I take forever to get a build going, you know, and some people can build quick. I know one of my clubmates, you guys might know him, Lucas Tattoos on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, he builds too fast.
Yeah, he builds quick. If he gets an idea, watch out. You know what I mean? 'Cause he'll put it down pretty quick. And sometimes I just kind of drag my feet. And it'd just be cool to see, you know, what he does to make things roll pretty fast. Because he gets a lot done and he gets the point across pretty quick. He'll get it done, built, weathered within like 1 week. And then once in a while, I'll try to keep up with him like in a group chat or whatever. And it's like before 2 days is gone, I'm behind. And so, like with another thing with the paint, like for sure, Wes, because you know you put it down. I saw your cars there at the roaster show.
Thank you, bro.
I was blown away, man, and how you touched on it on your episode on Scale Riders. So like, I can do detail and I can get lost in all that stuff, but I kind of skipped a major process in taking the time to get the paint right and polishing right. Like I've gotten lucky a few times. You put that duplicate color on, it hardens pretty good and thick, and you can work that down and get a good quality shine. But some people, they seem like it's not a lot of work, and for me, it always seems to be the wet sanding is a ton of work. So for something that could save a lot of time, I think Wes would be able to guide me pretty good.
Yeah, man.
One thing if I could just add one thing, those guys who having trouble or have a fear with wet sanding and buffing, what I suggest is to build, like, we all have extra bodies laying around, like kits. Take a body that you don't care about and practice on that and try to perfect that body, because at the end of the day, you don't care if you burn through, if you mess up. This is just a practice body.
Exactly.
If you learn on something like that, and Wes has touched that before in the podcast, try on bodies that you don't care, like, not on the build that you're trying to, like, show off in the show that you really care about. I've done a test body before, and I've burned through, but I learned from it, and you know what? That means my next build that I brought to the show really came out really good because of it. So if I could give somebody advice, is to try that. Or just try a dummy body that you don't care about and practice on that. Wes has mentioned that in the podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point, because as all modelers, we're always progressing and learning something new, and we always got something on the bench. And a lot of times, I think we try to apply it to our current project. I know I do a lot of times. And in the learning process, you're gonna fail sometimes, or you're gonna mess something up here or there. So with the practice body, you can do all kinds of things, like with the paint or hinging certain things or just trying new things out. That's a good deal to have a practice build to just try different things on and then apply it to whatever kind of project once you got it figured out.
Give it a try. Like I said, with no pressure, and just wet sand and ask questions. Anybody that you know is a good painter, like Wes or somebody, and just ask them as you're doing it. Hey, what steps? Do I have the right compounds? Am I using the right? Any question. And and if you burn through, who cares? Practice on it. And trust me, once you learn and you get the hang of it, it's good. You're not gonna be afraid no more to ruin a paint job. You're already gonna know what to do.
Yeah. So we all started somewhere,
Yeah, exactly. Give it a try.
And to add something to that topic, this is what I got from Japan, and it's called the God Hands, and it's got the 4 different sizes from 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, and then 10,000. And this stuff works without compound or anything like that. Just wet it a little bit, and this thing can bring back the shine that you need.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah.
I didn't know this until I went to Japan, and then Edgar was talking to me about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a few packs. And
you know what? I didn't know it came in that high. Those numbers.
How do I know what?
Yeah, they make them.
Like I have 800, 1,000, but I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah, that's the whole that's that whole polishing set right there. That's
yeah, it is. And awesome. There's no compound needed. It's just water, and it brings the shine back like quick.
Oh man, I gotta look for those.
That one's pretty easy to find. The one I'm having a hard time finding is the lower grade one. That's the one I need. If anybody has one.
Lower than this?
What number?
No, the sanding one, the one that's the kit from 120 to like 800 or whatever it is.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got some.
You got me?
Is there a site maybe?
I got some of those.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I need another set of those because I killed mine.
Yeah, with those polishing ones that Armando was showing, I've used that step there, and then once I'm done with that, I've gone the next step of using the Tamiya compound as well.
Okay.
Even after that to bring more shine. But
Oh,
just like
yeah,
how
yeah.
we said,
Polish.
you can just use that and it works great. Let's see. And what do you want to pick next? To answer the question, George?
Let me see. Who we haven't heard. This is the question on
One day, if you had a chance to work with someone to learn.
let's hear from Freddie. What's up, Freddie?
What was the question again? Because
Yeah.
about an hour ago we.
Yeah. So I'll repeat it. So it's whom would you want to learn from as a build style for a day?
Man, I got to easily say Gary Seeds, man. Ever since I started watching his stuff, and you know, just from the pictures that he sends me, you know, on a text message or whatever, and that that guy knows, you know, him being a real one-to-one painter, man, he just blows my mind every time he shows me a model that he builds, and you know, just from everything from shading to fading to the mix match of the same color, just different. I mean, it's crazy. So I would definitely have to say him. But
I'd like to change my answer. I'd like to change my answer to Gary Seeds. Yeah.
Yeah, can we change answers? I was gonna say Dr. Cranky.
Yeah, too late.
Cranky's a good one.
No take backs. Yeah, man, but he's really inspired me to do, to try a lot, and and it's not fair, I think, to say just to choose one person, because there's a billion of people on here, most of everybody on here, has different qualities and different styles that I would like to learn from as well. So, but overall, I just think he just has a very clean, clean like appearance as far as all his tape offs and whatnot. So, but what I am trying to shoot for is to go more into the basic, kind of like what Luis is doing. And not to call your stuff basic, bro, but just your paint jobs, man. Very very simple, very clean, man. I really dig that too, man. Just you can go as intricate as doing tape offs and patterns and whatnot, man. But a car that has a good paint job and that's well executed, how you did that in Paula, man, that was perfect, bro. But yeah, man. Just hats off to everybody that's doing it out there, man. But Gary Seeds for sure, man. He's my guy right now.
Right.
So let me see. Let me shoot it back over to who hadn't answered yet? Armando.
Armando, Dennis, Luis.
Yeah, I'll shoot back to Armando.
Already said it.
Armando.
Armando.
Definitely the way Ishtan was saying is models. Gary Seeds. Let me show you here some of the paint jobs from Gary Seeds. And
wow.
This is what I get inspired a lot. And I wish I can spend one day with him explaining to me how he does the webbing. He does incredible webbing on a car model that, it's something that I like his style. He's totally different than anybody. And if I can get a piece from him and learn one day, that will be Gary Seeds.
Yes. Nice.
Gary Seeds. Now, on the way back, I will probably stop David Anthony Garcia's, because that's another guy that he's like, very good on coming up with some crazy panels and ideas on a paint job.
For sure. Yes.
And there's more. I can go on and on and on, but those are the guys that I was like, no, okay, let me mention those two guys because those two guys are, on my tops.
Right now.
And Pancho.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say Pancho.
Pancho, don't forget Pancho, okay?
You
I'm
can't.
not kidding you.
Oh, hey, have you guys seen the shirt? It's the. Can you see it?
See, let's zoom in.
Yeah.
David,
The DA.
Anthony Garcia.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna wear that one, David. I was gonna
Oh,
wear
that's
that.
a new one. Damn, that's a nice one.
Nice.
That's what's up.
What about you, Edgar? Let's hear who you wanna like to learn one day to build from.
Yeah, well, that is definitely a tough question. There's numerous of people who have gotten the chance to see their work in person and also have interviewed. And it's really hard, but earlier today, I would say, based on what Ryan just showed us with his Honda, I would want to like hang out with, Ryan for a day and be able to, for him to show me that detail he adds to his cars, because that's an element that I don't even add to mine. I don't, that far. And it just looks very realistic, what he's doing to his cars.
Right on.
Shout out to Ryan.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I want to pass it on over to Wes.
Man, that's a tough one, man. Like everyone said, because as you've heard from me say in the podcast before, I've been building, for a long time, and I'm not really. I'll be 30 this year, but I've had a chance to learn from some of the greats out there. Anthony, Rios, Al Camacho, all those guys. But if I had to pick something, there's one area I really would like to start focusing on more would be like pattern jobs, pattern paint jobs and stuff. So like, learning like Armando, how you do your stuff, man, is crazy. I've watched the stuff you do, and it's insane, man. It's really, really, really inspiring to do. And just one of these days I would like to get a really, really clean pattern job done, and just learn how to do it like that. So I think I have to say Armando.
Right on. Luis.
I would choose Slowly Models. I think his name is Casey. I really want to get into 3D design and printing, so I think he'd be like a good someone to choose from to learn for a day. I'm just really into 3D printing and design, so it's something I want to eventually learn and get into, and possibly be able to provide my own parts for my own cars, and possibly for other people as well. But mainly the wheels. That's something I want to learn how to do, and I think it'd be a good option to go for.
That's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Yes.
And I think that's it, right? I'm not sure. Iceman, I think. Oh no, here we went. I think.
Iceman went.
Yeah,
I think that's everybody, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Edgar.
We can't hear you.
Wait, Edgar.
We cannot hear you, Edgar. Nope.
Unmuted.
Oh, there we go. My bad. Damn, I was gonna say that felt like it went by super fast, but but no, it's all good. So there's another question from the chat that I've been holding on to right now. This comes from BWJ. Let's see here. He wants to know what's everyone's favorite era style to build. Whether it's lowrider, custom, hot rod, or import. And we'll start things off with David, detail junkie.
My styles fluctuate quite a bit, but my most recent phase was kind of into those lowrider Euros, that 90s style. But and then I always have an affinity for bombs. So like, whether it be rat rod style, just regular street cruisers or cleaned up. But right now, I'm kind of wanting to get into the 70s style lowriders. That's kind of what I've been working my way towards, pattern-wise, and trying to get down the paint schemes and all that, and just really immersing myself in that style. I just love it, everywhere from the wheels to just, I don't know, the paint jobs, everything about them. So that's what you'll be seeing from me pretty soon.
Right on.
Dope. And what about you, Dennis?
Well, for me, I would say custom, but for me, custom means everything. You know, not just custom, because I like doing low riding. You can see the GCR sit back there, and I do trucks and do other things, trying to dabble in a little bit of everything. So I would say custom because, you know, to me, customs is like a wide or broad word or definition, you know, because it's custom. Anything you build, you change up or switch up or whatever, it's custom. So I would say custom. And next, we're going to Chipper T. We always going to Chipper T.
I think I'm gonna agree with Dennis on this one and say custom, because I like lately I've been trying to do a lot of variety of different things. You see, I did the Mustang, the Jeep, just the trucks, stuff like that. But I try to do like the 80s, the 90s, stuff like that. The reason being, I just feel like that would be my era, like the music, you know, the partying, the scenery, all that would be my scene. So yeah,
Boys in the hood, man.
One time.
Boys in the hood. Where you going, Craig?
What about you, Armando?
I'm 70s. Like I'm an old school guy, so 70s style is kind of my thing, and it's almost has to have candy in it. Candy, it's eye candy. So I will go with the 70s lowriders.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's pass it on over to Wes.
For me, you know, I like a little bit of everything, but a lot of my style tends to focus on like modern, you know, like really clean, crisp lines, simplicity, but you know, with a high end look to it. Kind of like a lot of the like some of the hot rods that I do, the Pro Touring styles that are, you know, they got updated motors, they got all the, you know, high end stuff on them, but they're just really clean, smooth. You know, all the way down to the nuts and bolts of being, you know, even chrome and stuff like that. So modern era, I'd say, but it's pretty much across the board when it comes to that for me.
Nice. Let's pass it on over to Freddie.
Well, as of late, it's been lowriders, but I mean, you know, I dabble in a little bit of everything. What I have not done lately, probably since like middle school or something, has probably been like Euro, anything import. So I think you know, I want to start picking you know, Vision, George's brain on that a little bit, and see if we can give me some info on that. And I definitely want to put out, you know, one or two by the end of next year, I want to say. So be looking out for that.
Let me know, bro. I'm an open book, man. Just like Wes says, I'm willing to help anybody with anything. So I appreciate that. Now
He's going to watch the Fast and the Furious. That's what he's going to tell you to do.
Now, Edgar, the question was, what was the question again?
Yeah, wanted to know what's your favorite era slash style to build, whether it's lowrider, custom, hot rod, or import.
I gotta echo as far as lowriders. I gotta echo Armando with the 70s styles. That's if it has to be lowriders, 70s styles is what I love. I love when I look at pictures of old 70s style traditional lowriders. I still get blown away.
High five. High five.
Yeah, and
hey man, you give him a high five.
High five. It's kind of like you know, even in old pictures, you still see like pearls and like the candy and the Kraggers, white walls, and the rabbit ear antenna. Oh man, like if it has to be with the lowriders, it's definitely the 70s style for me. Even though I like all the new stuff, yeah, I get blown away. Even I get excited when I see like I think Gary Seeds had one with the moon the moon the smoothies wheels with the white walls. I mean, man, to me, it's that style is timeless. You know. Also, any customs are cool. So I also agree with the other guys. That customs, you know, anything LED sleds is also cool. Big white walls with Cadillac hubcaps, sombreros. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, and those things stand out. You see that thing rolling down the street, a LED sled, you know, drop the back and spark, badass, man. So,
Oh, Freddie, man, you gotta show him, Freddie.
Yeah.
I show him what?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know.
Top secret.
Hey, take the camera over to your garage.
At G14 classified.
Got Area 51 over there.
Isn't there like a share, like a file share thing on here?
If you do it for your laptop, it's way.
Great question.
On the chat room.
Hey, let's. What about you, Iceman? You know, what will be your favorite era, or you know?
Yeah, just like a lot of you guys, I like to, you know, build a little bit of everything. But for me, my favorite is that weathered traditional, you know, 30s Ford. I like traditional hot rods from the 30s. Those are some of the builds that I kind of feel right at home building. I have that 32 that I'm building right now. I'm taking my time with. But if I can weather them just enough so that they look like they're coming back to life, like the 34 that I showed off last week, like that feels, you know, like it's something that I can do. Those are my favorite to put together. The Monte that I did, the purple Impala with the primered front end, things like that. Freddie said, you know, builds that tell a story. And any build can do that. But for me, going back to the 30s, those are builds that I like. Probably my favorite.
See, there's different flavors over here. Like everybody has different style, but they're all building car models. So it's the fun of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though some of us like to stick to one or two topics or one or two eras, I'm sure everybody in here appreciates all different styles. You know I do. Even if I normally don't build, I anything but just take my breath away in the table if it's something I don't build.
Right. You can be like a true car enthusiast. You like everything.
Right.
That's how I like. I'm a car enthusiast, so I like a little bit of everything, different eras, different styles. You know, everybody puts time and money into everything they do anyway. So you know, I might spend it on this, and we might spend it on something totally different. But it's, you know, being a car enthusiast, you like everything. You know, instead of just one thing, you like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and you get inspired by everybody because Brian and George, they do imports, and I want to do an import. I want to show you guys that I can do an import. You know, I have this import G35 that I can't wait to get it done so I can say, look, I can build an import.
Right.
See, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's always good to build something out of your element because you learn.
Yeah.
And sometimes you know, when you do something out of your element, sometimes you stick to that for a while. You like have fun with it, you know?
Woo! There it is.
Look at that thing.
Nice.
Look at that. Bam.
Damn.
That's an Area 51, everybody. That's Area 51.
G14
have to kill us all. He's gonna have to kill us all now. We don't see his project.
Man.
I want to do some more. I want to do some more things right here.
Ooh.
Some stuff right here. You know.
Put that bulletproof in there.
No, it's actually missing the vent window.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
See, like it now makes sense why you're not building models right now.
Right?
I don't have any money left.
Is that the Galaxy kit?
What scale is that?
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's a really good diorama.
Nice.
I had scratch built the ladders and everything.
The weather on the floor, it was incredible.
Did Skeleton make that diorama?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for sharing. That was tight.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of worried that y'all was gonna see my whole camera roll there.
What, hey, Luis, did you get to answer the question yet or no about your style? Oh, you're mute. Let's see. Unmute.
Unmute.
Oh, there we go.
What was the question again? My favorite style? Or
Your favorite era and style to build
for 500.
My favorite era would have to be, I don't know. I feel like I like a little bit of everything, but obviously I'm a picky kid. I want to on it up to my standards. I also have a little bit of old school style and then new school style. But I like the 90s lowriders, 90s trucks when they used to do the 15 by 12s wheels.
I think it was 1510 reverse.
Yeah. On the trucks, the 90s style trucks. And I think that's it. I want to get into more building trucks, like the Fords. I'm really into Fords.
Truck.
Yeah, just trucks and lowriders basically. And I like muscle cars as well: Camaro, Chevelle, Mustangs. I'm a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, 90s styles. Like for as far as lowriders go, I kind of like keeping the interior, the original interior. I'm not really into like the 90s, how they used to do it in the 90s style.
Explain that. Like what they used to do in the. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not sure exactly if it was the 90s, probably 80s. But how kind of like how Gypsy Rose is, or some like kind of like the interior Tingles does. He does some amazing work, but I'm personally not really into that style.
Right.
I like
They
keeping
did
it
that in the 90s too. That was in the 90s also.
Yeah, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, it was in the 90s also.
Okay, yeah, but I don't know. I like the look of the original interior.
Yeah.
If I would change it up, I would do something how California from LA. I like the style they have with the modern look to it. But yeah, that's basically it. Dude. 90 style trucks and 90 style lowriders and modern look to them as well. I think that's it. Yo, Edgar, you're on mute.
Yeah, so we got about, I would say, let's say 25 more minutes left into this, and I wanted to leave the floor open to you guys. Like, is there something you guys want to showcase or whatever you guys want to bring up?
Yeah, let me show you this. This is as far as I've gone, like where it's into the street machine. And
there you go.
This one, it's all aluminum engine.
It's not a Euro.
So
Nice.
this is as far as I've gone, where I end up doing whatever I can out of aluminum.
That looks really good.
And I got the JBL speakers. Even back then, I throw lights, LED lights inside, and it has a lot of fabrication on this truck because this is the 4-door snap fast kit. I made it into a Blazer.
Oh wow.
Smooth.
So
that
I'm sorry?
What year was that?
I don't know if it was a 99 or 90 something.
Yeah, later 90s, 95.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but the year you built it, I'm saying. The year you the year you built that when
Oh,
did you?
what year? It was 97.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's when you can find that thing in the store all day long.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
Walmart, Toys R Us.
I put
Exactly.
a Viper suspension, and basically has dual exhaust, dual not turbo, but it's like what is it called? A turbo supercharged dual, and it has some electric fans dual also on the side on each side.
Yeah.
I see the billet pulleys. Hey, what wheels are those?
These are custom made by me. As you can see, there's left and right, and dip dish and normal.
Yeah.
This one, the scoop goes like back, and then this one here, they go front. So it has left and right wheels that I made. Even has, you know, the photo edge parts. It's got like all the water lines, electrical lines, brake lines, fuel lines. And then I make this custom hood that just like tilts like this. So
nice.
Makes it nice. And then this, I created PL lights over here that if I turn them on, they're yellow in the front, but when you go sideways, they're blue. So
confused.
I did this. I compete this with JP Wheels back then in the 90s. And build these trucks really nice. And this is as far as I gone where it's a street machine car. I kind of burned the exhaust and try to make it like as clean as possible. Brake lines.
Wow.
It is.
And
the aluminum,
yeah,
it looks so good, man.
Yeah. So this is kind of where I'm heading on the import, where I want to do as much as I can out of aluminum, and then throw like a carbon fiber parts, seats, all that stuff on the G35. But this is kind of something I wanted to show you guys because I don't just build lowriders, I build also street machines.
Wow, guys, 23 years ago.
Yep. And it's still like right there. Actually, there's a missing window here.
Nice work, man.
Thanks.
Anybody else wanna talk about something specific?
Man, I just had a question that I wanted to ask everybody that knows about lowriders, man. Was it just here or was it everywhere else where they used to have like the 90s or like the 89 Beretta with adapters and they had those spokes sticking out like 20 inches?
Oh yeah, we had that here, man. It was everybody had it. It was on the Nissan Sentras. Any Euro had it. And it was 13.7s with low profiles on them. So that's why they sell out so far.
I believe they were 12s too.
Yeah. Well, they were 13.7s. They were the regular 13.7s, but on the Euros, they looked like they were bigger.
Right.
For some reason. Because you could put 13s on a big car and they look one way, but you put them on a Euro with low profiles and they look like a totally different.
They look like 20s.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, now that was the Euro lowrider style, right?
Yeah. Like I have a Cadillac I was working on, but I stopped working on it. It was supposed to come out with my other Cadillac, but then I didn't like the way it looked. So I don't know if you can see it right here. It's also all gold plated too.
All right.
Plated. And I just stopped working on this car. I didn't want to work on it no more. I was trying to sell it, and everything's gold plated. I started in this car probably like 2 years ago. So it's just still sitting here. I got like a lot of unfinished projects and stuff like that. And like,
who did they go for you? Oh, nice.
Ooh, hey. It's all good. This was done by Chrome Tech before they closed down.
Okay.
But I didn't like the way it came out. I got some gold done somewhere else that was way better. And I didn't like the way the Chrome Tech gold came out.
Yeah, it was always really faint.
Yeah, and they charged me way more. Like for what they did, it was like crazy. And I was just like, man, it was terrible. That's all I got. I pulled out this car to show everybody. This old Impala. It's missing one of the antennas that broke off, but this is like the one I had said that perfect score inspired me to do. Like this old car, way back in the days, one that first got me back into building models and stuff like that. You know,
Right.
it's all done up. And this is the first car I had that won in Atlanta at the Acme show. When the first year I went there, I won with this car. And like George knows, like me and him are tied now. We got 2 apiece. And, and Freddie's been there. That show was like it's really hard, and people their likes tend to change every day. They like what they don't like. But it's a pretty good show, and I want that. That's the car that got me back into modeling. Well, actually, the second car is a Cadillac sitting up there at the back. But it got me started in lowriding. But yeah, that's nice.
Love that paint.
Nice.
That's fun.
This is done by Ulises and David Anthony Garcia paint stripe it.
Oh, sweet.
So this is gonna be open doors, you know.
Exclusive.
Beautiful.
Hey, do you have a name for that one?
Do I have what?
Do you have a name for that car?
No, I don't. Because this was painted by Ulises, and he ended up telling me like, Armando, you want to finish that? And I go, sure.
Of course.
Yeah. There's another car I want to show you guys, and it's kind of like right here in pieces. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, at the bottom.
But this is the famous.
The famous pieces car.
Okay, it's in pieces. This is the famous Egyptian. So go it, mommy. But check out this whole thing was chrome plated, and it's only but
wow,
it's it needs love. So look at that right there.
I see the pumps. Yeah.
Yeah. So and this is the one that had the twisted wire wheels. Go plated.
Oh wow. And they're twisted folks, right?
Twisted and then go plated.
Wow. That's nice.
This is a project that is just been sitting over here.
I think everybody on here got a ton of those kind of things.
Sitting around. Yes, sir.
Sitting. You know,
Not like that.
yeah, you're right.
Real quick, I want to go ahead and just throw this out here to everybody who's watching. Go to Instagram, check out my Instagram page, Triple T TV. I'm hosting a raffle of an Acura Integra, a little red car. You know, it's a beautiful car, beautiful build. It's probably like 6 years old. I didn't build it. It was built by a former builder who's no longer building. So all the details are on my page. Y'all can go check it out. Yeah, appreciate everybody.
Definitely.
Check out the YouTube channel too, Triple T TV. I got some footage. I'm trying to do a video every day. So bear with me. I just got some software to up, some editing software. You know, I got a bunch of clips though from like In-N-Out West last year, MCMA Showdown 2 years ago. So I got a lot of footage. I'm gonna try to do a video every day though. So check it out. I appreciate y'all. That's all I got.
Right on.
Oh, here, I got something for you guys. We're talking about some 90s. I'm recording from the office, so I kind of keep some kits here, so I don't start on them and create any new projects for myself. So it's kind of a buffer. But this is one that I've had in my office for a little bit. This, I don't know if we can see very well, but this is
Testarossa kit on it.
Yeah, that Lucille. Trying to find the light. There you go.
Yeah, I see the Testarossa kit on it.
Yeah. Lucille from Class Act.
Oh yeah, they've been showing that on TV too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Class Act. And then here's another cool one. It's just in my office again, so I don't start on it, start sanding stuff.
Oh wow. That's
So there's
definitely-
that, but this has got all the basics that you need.
Yeah.
And that's right there. And I've got another one that I'm working on as it is, so I knew I'd probably start sanding on it at least. I just want to leave it alone. But
Hey, David,
Right.
you need to bring back in the future that
Don't bring
90s
sexy back.
fucking build off.
that 90s build, yes.
Man,
That was
I
so
wanted
fun.
to. I had so many things going on when you had that. I was so pissed with that.
That was
plug.
so fun, dude. We're definitely bringing it back because no matter what, it seems like everybody is still continuing to build like some 90s stuff.
Good.
And
Good.
yeah, it's got to come back.
I like
that
that.
one was okay. So we started with one was the mini truck, 90s mini truck style,
Yes.
or 80s, I think. But and then we did Lowrider Euro for the last show, the Plastic Society show last year. We had a Lowrider Euro class
In June, great turnout. Great turnout.
yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so I put it on pause for right now because I was like, all right, I'm gonna just get ready bored of that, but we'll definitely bring that back. That was fun.
Please.
Yeah, no, I was bummed out that I couldn't. I wanted to build so bad, but I had some other projects that need to get done for shows, and I was like, man, I can't believe I'm gonna miss this.
Well,
going back
for,
to that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
90 mini trucking was big for me,
Oh,
man.
it's fun to do, man. You see the one Skeleton's working on? It's Suzuki
Yeah.
and stuff. He's got the little CD wallet, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just so fun.
Yes.
Love that stuff. But for the one thing I want to plug really is anybody that's going to come up, Freddie, Chippa, anybody who's down to come out. Willie's coming out to Dallas August 15th. We're going to break the seal on having shows again. We'll be at Deep Ellum Art Company, which was a lot of fun. We have a bar and taco truck outside. It's cool vibe. We got a DJ playing and everything. The common kit that we're doing there is the Tamaya Beetle. So we got challenging everybody to build one of those, and it should be fun. It's a great kit, and yeah, definitely.
Lights.
What's the date?
Lights? Yeah, they promised me they'd double up on the lighting because it's a nightclub. It's a bar, basically.
Right.
The lighting was but yeah, so they're doubling up on the track lighting and everything for it.
No, I think his question was, what was the date?
August 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see, man. That'd be dope, man. I'll bring the Herbie if I could go, man.
It's one of those chill shows, dude. Like it's very chill. Freddie, you came up for last year. That was pretty cool. That was a little bit chaotic because that was a last minute push. I ended up having that one at a brewery, at a local craft brewery spot.
Wow.
But yeah, even that was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna see how the flights are. They're cheap because some flights are being cheap lately. If they are, I might jump on one.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
what's up with this having model shows with beer, man? You trying to get the people's models crushed or something, man? What's going on here, man?
I'll tell you, man.
You get drunk and next know there's no
Enjoy
models.
yourself.
I'll tell you. I'm trying
Mix, man.
No, dude, I just feel the whole like traditional model car contest standard is so dated. I just, although I have fun because we're all hanging out with friends and everything, but the whole vibe outside of that is very just dated, man. It feels like
I
I'm
agree.
at a PTA contest, a PTA, meeting.
And it's intense.
Well, we already know, like,
so-
when we was at pizza night, Chippa T was over there. He was whining. He was two-fisting it, You remember that, right? You remember that, Edgar?
Yeah. You got like a
Luis has footage. Luis has footage of
I
that.
got the footage.
Yeah.
He
He
definitely has
didn't even
footage
know
of
where
that.
he was, man. He was just throwing pizza.
Oh no, I wasn't out of there. I wasn't out of there. I wasn't out of there.
I've heard.
Lost files.
Are they even gonna let Triple T in?
I'm tall
Yeah,
enough.
but
What
are
you
you
talking
21,
about?
dude?
Yeah.
Damn, how long have I known you, man? Did I meet you when you were?
Yeah.
Didn't I meet you when you were like
Men in
15?
Black and you showing
I
IDs?
guess
Is
that.
this Men in Black, man? What's going on here, man?
I met you when I was 13.
13, yeah, damn, it's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you can understand. It's hard for me to see that you're of drinking age now.
I mean, I think I meet the height requirements, but I definitely got the age limit.
No, but time as a grown up, you'll see it flies by.
Definitely.
Yeah, it probably does when you're drunk. Yeah, bye. Wake up the next morning. Where my models at, man? Where's my models?
I sold.
No, it's
Sold
just
them all.
good,
I didn't want to bring them home.
good social buzz, man. Good social drinking. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Do you ever get afraid that maybe someone might be so faded they fall over on a table or something or knock down?
Oh Lord, please no.
Oh, man, you saw some bad
I don't think we
juju
get
on
that
us,
drunk.
We'll have like security guards there
Yep.
pushing off people.
Yep.
Hey, back it up.
You just have
Yeah,
to
the
tell
goal
car.
is to just have a few beers while we're having a good time, and then pack your stuff up, put it in the car, and then shop.
Turn up. Imagine if somebody forgets their kids.
Edgar, that's not what happened at Dead End Store, right?
Dang.
There you go.
I'll be like forgetting stuff. Like, oh shoot. we gotta
Yeah,
go back.
pack it up first, have a few beers, chill out, have some fun, but afterwards, yeah.
Edgar, he said about the Dead End show y'all went to. Remember you was telling me about that?
Oh man, I don't even know how we got back to the hotel.
Drove. I give you the keys.
Yeah, I was already gone, and this was like, here's the keys. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And I had to pick up all the stuff, put it on the car, and then give you the keys and say, okay, now you take it to the,
Yeah, I was
to the
like,
hotel.
Yeah, Armando was probably telling Edgar, hey, I got your models, and Edgar's like, what models? What are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
you were on a different, man.
Yeah, but it was so fun. It was Dream On. It was with us. Remember?
Yeah, that was dope. It was like 805s, like unlimited or whatever. They were sponsoring the thing.
Yeah, these two guys, Dream On and Edgar, were jumping on the bed, like on both on two beds,
Oh,
right?
in the hotel. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, okay, let me go to sleep, and they're like, just keep laughing. It's like,
Yeah, that was fun. Dang. You guys want
Hey,
to
Wes,
plug anything?
hey, Wes, you got any shows in Missouri this year, or they're canceled?
No, the one in Kansas City got pushed back to August 22nd and 23rd.
Okay, so it's not canceled. It's pushed right now. Further.
Yeah, they pushed it back to August 22nd, 23rd. It's out in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay.
So about, like, I'm in St. Louis, so about 3.5 hours west of me. It's a cool show. It's a 2-day show. It's really cool. They usually get about 450 to 500 models on the tables.
So that's for the IPMS show?
No. It's strictly just a car show.
Wow. So I never been to a show that's like 2 days or more than a day.
I was just thinking the same. 2 days.
Yeah, usually IPMS is those 2 days.
Right.
So you get a quick rundown how that works?
Yeah, so basically it's Saturday, Sunday, but so like you show up Saturday, the show is registrations from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the afternoon, and you register your cars, you get them out there. There's no vendors or nothing, so it's just setup time basically. And then at 7 o'clock they shut the doors. They do all the judging overnight. So with nobody around, all the judges just do all the judging overnight. Sunday morning, the show opens up like a normal show at 9 a.m. They have vendors. They have a lot of cool stuff, and it's just like a regular show on Sunday. The only difference is entry is on Saturday, and then they do the judging overnight.
Now, this Sunday, there's no vendor, so it's just strictly show.
On Saturday, there's no vendors. It's just you're set up. You can take from 1 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening, just chill. Look at all the stuff that people are entering and whatnot, walk around the tables. But no, there's no vendors until Sunday morning.
So do people actually hang out on Saturday? Sorry, George. Do people hang out on Saturday all day, or do you just kind of like set up and peace out?
No, I mean, like, we usually get there about like 2 o'clock, and then we usually hang out till they kick us out.
Right on.
So, it's cool because it's not as crowded because you don't have people just going there for vendors.
Right.
It's just the guys that are entering their cars. So it's a lot more chill. You can take really good photos of all the stuff. You can talk to people about their stuff.
Right.
It's really it's a cool atmosphere in my opinion.
Man,
Right.
I want to try that one year.
Right.
Go over there out.
Yeah, I got my wheels spinning too on that because I've heard about some of those that do that, but I've never really grasped how long how to do 2-day show, and if it would benefit because you got some people that travel
Right.
Yeah.
want to hang around that whole time.
And the cool thing is it's at the convention center, so they have a hotel that's attached to it. So like, you don't have to go super far, and there's a bunch of other hotels around there too. So, you go inside, come out Saturday, just spend overnight one night, and then take off on Sunday or whatever.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Out. And you know what? I've heard that IPMS show being more than one day, but not a strict car show. So that's cool. Model car.
You know what? From a judging standpoint, that'd be awesome. Take off all the stress.
Yes.
Exactly.
Trying to cram it all in there, you get to really take your time and dissect every build and get a good team together. It's not distracted by hanging out with everybody else, myself included.
And they got a really good group of guys that do the judging and stuff, and they're thorough, man. They're like, I talked to some of them the next day, and sometimes they stay up till almost 3-4 in the morning judging all the stuff.
Ouch.
They're walking around like zombies on Sunday morning, but
Right.
but it's just that's how thorough they get into the judging.
That's definitely interesting.
And Wes, how many cars did you say there was there? Is usually there?
They usually get between 450 and 500.
Yes.
Shout out to the judges, man. Shout out to the judges.
And that's guys from all over, man. Like, not just Midwest, but there's guys like Lynn Woodruff comes up from Texas.
Yeah.
Some guys. There's a lot of guys like from back in the East Coast area, Pennsylvania.
Right.
I know Noco comes out from Colorado.
Nice.
JPS. It's basically the center hub for model shows, in my opinion. Because
what's that show called?
Yeah, it's
what's the name of that show?
It's the I just figured the name just went out of my head.
Sorry.
It's put on by the Casey Slammers.
Casey Slammers, okay.
Yeah, Overland Park, Kansas. So I had the flyer somewhere around here, but of course I don't know where it's at right now. But I'll post it up on Instagram for everybody, and check it out. And like I said, I recommend it. It's a cool show, man, and it's unique. I'll say that it's unique. It's probably one of the only ones I've been to that's like that. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good. So Edgar.
Yeah. So we want to end things with everybody. If you guys want to give your shout outs. Go.
Shout out to everybody on here. We had a good time.
Yeah,
shout out to everybody who listened to this or stayed up with us, listened to us all talk. So, shout out to everybody. Keep building.
Yes, sir.
No matter what happens, there's going to be haters. So just keep building and have fun.
Oh yeah. Thank you guys.
Scale Riders.
For you guys for being our guests on the Zoom meet, the number 2. This was dope. It was really cool tonight to be able to get all of us together, hear you guys chop it up, answer some questions from viewers in the chat room as well, and also for just taking the time for being a part of this, and let's just see what more comes in the future from this.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, real quick, I'm just looking at the comments. Rudy Munoz was asking about a package of Impala scripts and everything for photo etch. I actually have the 64 done because we were talking about with Luis earlier about the decals versus and the scripts being backwards on some of the cars. I actually have the 64 done as a metal sticker that I'm waiting on from Hong Kong, actually. It's been sitting there for over a month. And then, yeah, I'm planning on running down the list of the rest of Impalas. Like 67 is actually one I've got like queued up. I didn't think about the 62. I need to do the 62, the 63 and all that, but those are going to be like metal sticker, just super easy to apply. And then, okay, that was it, I think, on the comments and everything I want to touch on.
Cool.
But yeah, thank you for everybody been hanging out with us and chilling, watching, and throwing comments at us. Appreciate you.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one. All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right.
All right,
Guys.
peace out.
Easy.
All right, later.
Sympathy TV.
Y'all
Subscribe. Go subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
Subscribe to Scale Riders too.
Galaxy Scale Cars.
Hit the notification button on all of them.
You follow me, you follow me. You don't, okay?
Y'all know where to find me at.
That's what I'm talking about.
You guys have a good night.
No, you.
All right, guys.
All right, you too.
All right.
Peace.
Later.